Hey everybody, this is Cecil with Small Engine Velocity coming at you with another video. And today's video is a little bit weird. So if you go through a lot of people trying to buy Ruckus or wanting to buy Ruckus, they all say that they're too tall. I don't know if that's you. I don't know what your solution was, but no matter how far you stretch the motor back and make it long or move your seat back, for some people it's still not there's not enough space between them and the handlebars. So when I was on the Ruckus, was it the Ruckus group on Facebook? Someone offered something up that I went ahead and picked up. Now for me it's a little bit ridiculous. I'm 5'6", and setting me further from my handlebars will probably just make my front pegs useless and only decorative, but I decided to do this because I thought it was an important question to address for tall people that want to ride Honda Ruckuses. Anyways, here's my solution. There you go. Frame extensions. What this does is this goes between your front and rear frame. I bought this used, but they still make these online. I had to buy a longer 10.9 grade bolt so that because now instead of 2 bolts holding you to your frame, you have to have 3 that hold you together, and this is a mock-up of what it's supposed to look like. So here's where you would normally mount your regular frame, your 2 frames together right here, but then now there's this extension. So there's the regular, you put these 2 bolts, this bolt in right here, and then you put the other frame on here, and then you put your bolt here and tie it down. By the way, this is a M10 bolt, thread pitch 1.25 and 60 millimeters long, and then you bolt down to the front frame, and then that will effectively stretch you this distance, which is probably a good, what, let's guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4 inches or so on the frame, and then set you a little bit further back. How will this work? For tall people, it sets them further back from the handlebars and makes it more comfortable for a leg position on their bike. Put some front pegs on it when it's stretched like this, and I bet you it's easy riding for anyone who's like, what, you know, reaching up to 6 foot or even taller. Those 4 inches will probably make a huge difference on the way it rides for them. For me, it's just gonna make my ruck just ridiculously long, and I'm gonna have to hunch over for my handlebars, which I'm gonna look for a handlebar solution so that I can pitch my steering a little bit further back, but that's coming up in the future. My priority is an exhaust still. Anyway, so since the garbage man just got here and is making a whole bunch of noise, let's go ahead and begin the installation. So the first thing we need to do is disassemble, disconnect the front and rear frame after I remove the tank and the tank cover. My battery died. I gotta get it charged and I'll be right back. Never mind, I borrowed an impact. Alright, 60 mil is not long enough. It needs to be longer than this by at least another 10 millimeters. I gotta go to the store and pick one up. Okay, so now I got the right bolts. 30 mil, I went from a 60 to a 70 or an 80. Anyways, at least 70 mil for that middle bolt that goes all the way through. I forgot to take into account for the thickness of the front frame. So let's go ahead and put it together now. All right, this is also not long enough. It barely bites, and I'm not gonna risk my front and rear frame together with something that barely bites. So I'm gonna go to the hardware store, a different hardware store now, because this was the biggest one that they had that was in grade 10. And we are gonna find out the correct bolt for this. I'll be right back. Okay, 3 stores later, I finally get the right bolts. Now my bike is sitting in the sun, baking to death, and it's too hot. But I'm gonna try anyway, so here we go. Okay, so if you want a description of what's going on right now, is that I am struggling in the heat, trying to make these bolts line up and hold the weight together with my hands by myself, and still try to get the impact in there to get everything to connect. Later on, I realized that the rear bolt is the one that's on the rear frame is too long. When it goes in, it starts hitting the inside tube of the where the foot peg is on the rear. So yeah, I gotta redo it all over again with some new bolts in the back. Fortunately, Puck comes along later on, and he goes in the store to get them for me. But yeah, none of this stuff lined up perfectly. I had to keep stuff loose so that I could wiggle it together. Okay, I'm moving into the garage. It's way too hot to work in the sun. Looking for those bolts. The sun came over where I was working at, so now I'm gonna move. Ugh. Okay, well, I took a break because it was really, really hot outside. I finally got the bolts in. Okay, so let's keep in mind the bolt sizes. But first, let me go ahead and give you a show of the mock-up. I didn't put the tank back in. I haven't got the covers or the wires ran or anything, or the cables. So let's go ahead and take a look. Are you ready? Da, 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 da. There it is. Okay, so front frame. Can you see the angle right here for the block? And then it goes here. Here is one bolt, another bolt that goes all the way through, and another bolt that holds here. So all the mounting points are still the same, connecting at the top. There's just an extra bolt because of the extension. Does this look sturdy so far? I used grade 10 bolts all the way around, and I don't intend on hitting any huge bumps or anything like that, but you know, you never know. But anyways, this was half the size. This is still an M10, what did I say? M10 1.25 pitch, but it's half the original. This one is the same thing, M10 1.25 pitch and 80 millimeter, and then you can use the stock one up here. The only one you can use is the stock one up here, so you still need to buy 2 new bolts if this brace doesn't come with it. Another thing that's odd, from the top view, there's like this huge gaping hole here now. I mean, when you're sitting, you can see a giant hole right here now. Like I could fit my foot in here if I wanted to. So I'm gonna try to design something that'll cover it, but these handlebars are much further away than they used to be. So yeah, keep that in mind. But it is, what? From here to here, longer than it was before. So for you tall people, this is a great idea. Or for those people that just are trying to get the world's longest ruck. I think my Ruckus is longer than small bore 2 wheels now. So he needs to step up his game. This is something he needs to put in his Ruckus because he's really tall. But anyways, let's go ahead and finish this up. Okay, I finished. And I'm pretty impressed with it. It looks like it'll hold up pretty well, but you never know. Unfortunately, I didn't think about this at the time, but my throttle cable and my brake cable are not long enough to add 4 inches to the frame. So I need to find something longer than, I think my one I bought was from Mojo Customs, which is 83 inches. And I know they make an 85, which is only 2 more inches. So perhaps I'll have to find a custom cable or something like that. Another couple of things that I had to do is I had to redo my brake and redo my throttle and my idle and everything, but it worked out good. So here we go. Okay, so I rode with it a little bit, and it's definitely longer. I'm rolling it up to the front. So, yeah, so if you're tall, this is perfect for you. If you're short, this is not perfect for you, unless you want to be a super long ruckus. So, yeah, it also changes my arc whenever I go over buttons. So now, whenever I hit this, scrape, I have to actually get off again. For a little while there I didn't have to get off, but now I have to get off again. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let me know. This took a while to get done, but in the end, I'm gonna go ahead and try it out for a couple of weeks. If I don't like it, then it's gonna go to a better cause, someone who's taller than me. Whoa! Okay, well, my kickstand still needs to be adjusted too. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see everybody next time.